He was just a boy. He lived in South Florida, surrounded by sunshine and suburban quiet. His world, however, existed behind a screen. He was not like other kids his age. He was learning a language that wasn't spoken. It was the language of machines, of networks, of hidden pathways. He was 15 years old. He didn't want fame or money, just answers. He wanted to understand how everything connected online. In 1999, his curiosity led him to a place few ever see. He found a door left slightly open. On the other side was NASA, data that reached for the stars. The break-in wasn't loud. It was a whisper on a keyboard. One night he turned his attention to a NASA network. He scanned it, looking for an entry point, and found one. A server at the Marshall Space Flight Center. A port left open. A weak password. A key under the doormat. Jonathan used that key and stepped inside. He was surrounded by data from one of the world's top labs. He looked around. Documents, internal emails, project reports. He downloaded files to study later, fascinated by the complexity. He saw systems were built by people, and people make mistakes. Then, a connection, a trust relationship. The Defense Threat Reduction Agency, DTRA, guarding nuclear, chemical, biological threats. He used NASA access to jump into an even more secure network. He installed a backdoor, a secret entrance only he knew. He didn't know it yet, but the ghost had left a trace. The first signs of trouble were subtle. A critical server at Goddard went offline. Email routing stalled. Communications disrupted for almost a day. They ran diagnostics, checked logs, nothing usual. Anomalies emerged. A tampered system. They found the open door Jonathan had used, and the back door on DTRA's network. This wasn't a glitch. It was a security breach. Among the files, software for the International Space Station's life support, code valued at over $1 million. Jonathan said he did it just for fun, to see if he could. NASA shut down major parts of its network for weeks, and the hunt began in earnest. The shutdown had a real cost, and a human one. NASA tallied $41,000 in direct repairs, but delays and disruptions were bigger than any line item. Across agencies, costs climbed into the millions. Prestige took a hit. Vulnerability exposed. A what-if hung over everything. Small changes, catastrophic outcomes. The threat this time came from a 15-year-old's room, and the rules of defense began to change. Every system rechecked, every line reviewed. The ghost in their machine forced a full reset. But the story was only halfway told. NASA, DoD, the FBI followed the digital trail. He tried to be a ghost, but he was young. He made mistakes. Clues led to a small ISP, then to a single house. Pinecrest, the James family home. January 26, 2000, the virtual met the real. A warrant, a firm knock. Consequences at the threshold. They were there for his son, and the computers. The game was over. He denied it. Then the evidence spoke. Faced with reality, he admitted the intrusions. The search ended. The prosecution began. A young explorer meets the law. Because he was 16 at sentencing, it went to juvenile court. He became the first U.S. juvenile sent to prison for hacking. The case drew national attention and tough questions. Prosecutors argued massive disruption, high cost, real danger. Defense painted a curious, misguided kid. No intent to harm. The judge weighed both perspectives. Jonathan pled guilty to 2 counts of juvenile delinquency. 6 months in a federal detention center. Strict probation. No recreational computer use. Monitoring. The message was clear. Hacking is serious, even for minors. The digital world isn't lawless. The legal story was only part of it. The arrest was traumatic. The house went quiet. Power online became powerlessness at home. He broke down, finally feeling the gravity. His name and face were everywhere. Villain to some, folk hero to others. The spotlight found his family too. He lost access, and an identity. Cut off from the community he knew best. He had to find another way to live, and to define himself. Punishment became separation, from talent and trouble. The emotional toll would echo for years. The case was a turning point in cybersecurity. Suddenly, security got serious and funded. White hats hunted the cracks before the black hats did. Law and law enforcement evolved to chase borderless crime. Schools and parents taught online ethics and responsibility. Safe spaces to explore talent legally. The lesson: balance security with education. In 2008, at 24, Jonathan took his own life. I have no faith in the justice system. This is my only way to regain control. His story is brilliant curiosity without guidance, and consequences that turned physical. Systems and laws must protect us and guide curious minds. The echo of his story still travels, warning us which road not to take.